Alrighty guys, welcome back to the Combustion Gamer and NASCAR Heat 5. Today we are going to be making another NASCAR paint scheme. We got here Ward Button's number 31 Hardy's paint scheme, as I made in the last video I did of NASCAR paint schemes. So let's go ahead and check out our next attempt of a paint scheme. This is going to be the 1983 Darrel Waltrip Pepsi Mobile. And this paint scheme looks pretty cool. Will we be able to replicate it? Kind of. Let's get to work. And by the way, guys, don't forget you can check out the paint scheme merch. You can check that out over at Combustion Gamer Gear. Thanks. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and start off with the easy part, and that's going to be getting our number 11 right there. Beautiful. Looks actually pretty good. Let's see what styles we got here. So that's gonna be a pretty close style right there. See if we have any other options. No. Okay, so that is our option right there. It actually looks pretty good. Now what's gonna be tricky about this one is technically there's 3 different colors in this number, because you have a dark red, then you have a bit of yellow as the outline of the one, and then you have just the red. So obviously we can't do that because this is NASCAR Heat 5 and we don't have that customization. Bummer. So we're going to go with a light red, and then we're going to get out of our secondaries here and go all the way up to dark red. Yeah, we'll go that dark just so it stands out. I think it's more of that color in reality, but it looks darker because you have the yellow outline in the 11 there. But that will work. That will work right there. So, there we go. We got our number. Okay. Now, let's move on to the paint scheme. So, let's scroll all the way forward here. And we'll get out of our Australian accent because we broke into it for some reason. So there we go. That's going to be our best bet to get this paint scheme done. Why? Because it actually has the color come up on the sides, and you have actually the secondary or third color there on the top. So let me show you what I'm thinking here. So go ahead and white right there. Got that. Then we're going to have that a little bit of red. It's going to be going along the side, and then of course we have our yellow going on here, which I think it is a bit more of the orange yellow. So let me see what we can do with that. It's an interesting yellow. So I'm needing a little bit like in between the orange and yellow there. See, we're getting a little bit too close into brown and gold country. That's kind of tricky. That's a very nice looking yellow. Let me see here if we can replicate it here. See, it's kind of in that yellow family, but it's like in between orange and stuff. We're going to go with that because, I mean, it's a very... Part of it is probably the color has been... the photo looks like it's been saturated, so that might be playing a bit into what my eyeballs are seeing here. But that's kind of what it looks like color-wise, so we're going to go with that. Now, technically as well, I believe there's actually like a black stripe there on the bottom, but obviously we're kind of limited with what we can do here, so we're going to ignore that that exists and just go with the little red pinstripe there on the top, yellow as the main side color, and then white there on the top of the vehicle, because that's what we're stuck with. So that's what we're going to do. Okie dokie. So moving forward from that, we got our rim color, we got our spoiler color, all that has been taken care of. So what do we need to do next here? So we're going to go into our paint scheme. We're going to go into our sponsors, and let's see what we got. So we got the bold Pepsi logo, kind of in a square, honestly. And so that's going to make our lives a little bit more tricky. So one thing that we can do, obviously, is put Ream on there. Obviously, that doesn't get us any blues. That's going to kind of make things a little bit tricky. But here, let me go with the easy part. So here on the side, we got a big old square of a logo going on. That's kind of a black square. Let me see what we can find here. What do we got? We can do club card down there, because that's what we have. Then back here is going to be kind of easy because it's just the Pepsi in the font in red. Exalta, we don't need a logo, we just need like red font. Mac Tools, I'm just needing something with a red font here. And no, we're not using you. Let's see here. I think we're going to go with Fire Alarm Services there just because it's the red font for the most part. So that's what we got there. Now back here we got that same Pepsi logo that's going to be a pain to work with. We'll go ahead and just leave Shriners for Children on there. Okay, so this is where it gets tough because you got to make choices. Is like, what do you want to try and keep the paint scheme alive? So we could go with that because it would match the scheme, but we want to be able to have that Pepsi logo. So what do we put on there? That has blue and red in it. So Ream, obviously that's your best choice probably because it's round, so it looks like the Pepsi round logo. It has white through the middle of it, but you lose out on blue. Valvoline, you could do that because actually you could do that because it has the red and the blue, but it doesn't give you the white. But also it's not you could get in the white there from the paint scheme itself. So I mean that actually is a really good design that I didn't even think about. Keep on looking here for just a second, but I'm actually kind of liking the Valvoline kind of stand-in for Pepsi there almost. Yeah, I kind of like that a little bit better because that gets you all of the colors you need, the red and the blue, plus also the Pepsi in the blue lettering with Valvoline there. I mean, that gets you what you need, but then it also gets you the white, obviously, from the scheme itself. That fills in what white you're missing. So yeah, I think we'll go with that. Now the back here, the back deck lid, this is where things get tricky because technically it's supposed to be the Pepsi paint scheme, the Pepsi logo once again, but it's not white back here because we're limited by what we have in the scheme, blah blah blah. So what we can do is double up on what we did on the back here, and we'll put Fire Alarm Services back here as just yeah, it's way up here. We'll put Fire Alarm Services back there. There we go. And that's going to be like, basically they doubled up on the Pepsi just in the red font logo on the back deck lid is what we're going to do. So interpretation, interpretation, interpretation. We have to do what we can with our own interpretation of the paint scheme. And so that's kind of it, honestly. So let me stare at the side here. What I do want though is this yellow. See, it doesn't look good. I mean, it does look good, but it just doesn't look. It looks like a much deeper yellow. It looks like that, but just a little bit lighter. It's so hard on that. It's like, I want it to look good. So let's see. So there's that yellow, but it's so close to the green. That looks a little bit better. I'm going to go with that. So that's going to be secondary. You're going to go, so you have lime green, then you're going to go to the first yellow, highlighted yellow there, and you're going to go one more down. You're going to go into that and then go up. And I think that's the best yellow because it's like, it's a light yellow, but it's also I don't know how to say it, but like a deep yellow. I don't know what I'm talking about, honestly, when it comes to shading and all that. But it just, it's not a bright highlighter yellow. It's more of that in between orange and yellow color is what I'm, at least what I'm seeing from the picture that I got here. So that is what I'm gonna go with. And honestly, it looks pretty good. Only thing that I don't like, obviously, is the back here where it doesn't go all the way. The white doesn't come all the way to the deck lid, and then obviously because of the limitations of our scheme, we don't have it going along the entire body line here up to the front, and then you have that nice cutoff where you got the red coming up through the front and stuff. You don't have that, but still doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty good. So let me know what you think of that paint scheme. That's going after the 1983 Darrel Waltrip number 11 Pepsi Mobile, and it turned out pretty good, honestly. It looks pretty good. So obviously limitations what we have here, but it looks good. So always like a challenge, and this one seemed like it was going to be easy, honestly, but ended up being a little bit more challenging just with the choices we had to make. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of that paint scheme. Looks pretty good, and we'll see you guys here next time on the Combustion Gamer with some more NASCAR paint schemes. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.